What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. This is your FA Cup semi-finals preview. Arsenal versus Manchester City and Manchester United versus Chelsea at Wembley this weekend. There's going to be no fans, but there's going to be four teams battling it out for the right to face each other in the Wembley final. I have got an esteemed guest with me today. Guest panel, I've got Devo, obviously the Arsenal fan, Anita, Chelsea fan, Yannicka, Man City, and Kyle, the resident guest, Barcelona fan, obviously here mourning their loss of their La Liga title to Gareth Bale and co. We don't mention any other marquee signings who haven't contributed to the title win this season. Everyone here, barring Kyle, had a decent week when it comes to football. Arsenal got their win against Liverpool. Chelsea got a lucky win against Norwich. Manchester United obviously did what we do, pay the refs. And Man City went one better and paid UEFA and somehow got away from the Champions League ban. How did everybody do today?
Good. Can't complain.
Feeling good. Hazard won the La Liga yesterday, so feeling better.
Why are you feeling better? What's that got to do with you?
Well, I'm a Hazard stan. Like it doesn't matter whether I support Real Madrid or Barcelona. I support Hazard, and he won the league.
He didn't win anything. Let's be honest. He didn't contribute nothing. That's like, when you do them group projects in school. And one person's like, beg you, just put my name on that. That's Hazard.
And Hazard. You know what? It's so funny. Who was the difference in the Real Madrid team from last season? Eden Hazard. And no one really. I don't make the rules.
You know what? I'm not saying, because if I was Hazard, I'd be claiming that same way. So I understand.
Hazard did a Mendy. Hazard did a Benjamin Mendy, whose birthday is today as we record. Mendy, who just turns up once a season, picks up his medal, tweets about it, his gym body. Yeah, I got all these titles. You ain't done nothing. You ain't done nothing. And Yannicka over there looking all smart. Tell me, how much did you and Pep pay UEFA? Because it's a joke.
Look, we were innocent until proven guilty, and we weren't proven guilty, so it is what it is, isn't it?
Criminal injustice system. As 5 black people here, we know that the criminal justice system don't work how it should. So, yeah.
Well, our owners aren't white, in it, so the white man lost.
That's what it wasn't. That's why they delayed it. They delayed it so they can feed into the whole, in Black Lives Matter. And if we always fan them, it might look a bit shady, innit? Because they're people of color. So yeah, you lot are tricky, you lot are tricky, but you made the top 4 race much more interesting. But we ain't going to talk about top 4 today. We're going to talk about the FA Cup. Even though, the FA Cup, it's diminished in value as the years have gone by. And I think right now, especially for 2 of the teams who are facing each other, we're going to get to, it doesn't really mean much this season if we're comparing to what they're actually fighting for in terms of Champions League spaces, which is Man United and Chelsea. But in terms of Arsenal and Man City, this is pretty much their season. I don't think Arsenal can get into a Europa League place. Maybe they can, I'm not 100% sure. And Man City, they're cemented second. They're not going up. They're not going down. They've got, when I say down the league, not relegated, even though that's what we hope for. And then they got the Champions League in August. So really and truly, the FA Cup, I'm sure they're going to want to retain it. So I'm going to come to Devo first. Going into this game, how confident are you, and how confident do you think Arsenal, the players, and Arteta will be in terms of getting a good result against Man City?
Oh boy, it's the FA Cup. That's what gives me confidence. It's the FA Cup, and we generally do well against the FA Cup. Even against the big sides. Obviously, last time we played Man City, we played them in the final, and everyone thought we was going to get smacked, and we managed to win that. We played Chelsea in the final. Everyone thought we was going to get smacked. We beat them. Something about Wembley and Arsenal just kind of suits. We do well at Wembley. This is going to be a completely different type of game with no fans, but I'm quietly confident. I'm not going to be screaming from the rooftop saying we're going to beat Man City. You'll never hear me say that, but I'm quietly confident that we will at least perform well, and that will put us in a position where we could possibly win the game. The result against Liverpool will give us confidence, obviously, and what also will give us confidence is that we managed to rest some players. Aubameyang didn't start, for example. There's a few other players that didn't start in that game that will probably come back into the side against Man City. And it's also good that Martinez is full of confidence as well after getting peppered by Liverpool and pulling off save after save. I read a stat that I think he's got the highest save percentage now in terms of goalkeepers who have played a certain amount of games in the league. Over that amount of games, I think he's top of that list or something like that, which shows how well he's done in his job and how bad our defense has been at doing their job. So as long as he's doing his job right, it gives us confidence. But yeah, quietly optimistic, I would say.
I tell you what, with Martinez, he has looked really good. Like, I'm not going to say he's better than Berleno. Berleno's been with Arsenal a couple of years now. He's been one of the best keepers in the league over that time. And I think he gives a surety to all Arsenal fans and the managers that they've had. But something about Martinez, I feel that he could be, if he's not, better than Leno. Just in terms of the way he commands the situation. He catches a lot of the shots. He pushes them away from goal. I don't always see that from Leno. Leno makes a lot of saves, a lot of, has a high save percentage. But does he take control of the situation the same way Martinez does and relieve the pressure on the defense?
You see, anyone who's watched anything I've done over the last few years on YouTube, even before we signed Leno, I didn't like him. I think he's done really well and he's improved since signing for us, but I don't rate him as a top keeper. When people say he's one of the best goalkeepers in the league, I'm like, which league? It's not Premier League. It can't be the Premier League. He is a good goalkeeper. He's not a great goalkeeper. Martinez obviously has just come in. He did well in the Championship last season. He's come in. He's been at the club for 10 years plus, I believe. So he's waited for his chance. But there's something about him. There's like an aura about him, which reminds me of Jens Lehmann. In the fact that he's kind of like, don't worry, man, it's cool. I got it. Even when he takes risks with his feet or whatever. You know, most keepers, they get flustered. He's like, no, man, it's cool. I meant to do that. It's fine. Don't worry. It's cool. I got it. And that was why Lehmann was such a good goalkeeper for us, because he gave this confidence to the defense that even when he did something wrong, I mean, obviously, if the other team capitalizes, then you're going to have to say, what are you doing? But even if he did something wrong, he weren't flustered for the next 20 minutes. He's like, no, man, it's cool. Just give me the ball again. I'll sort it out. It's cool. Fine. And that's what I see in Martinez. So hopefully that can continue. But it's good to have two good goalkeepers anyway, because you want to be able to rely on both.
Definitely. Yannicka, Man City fan, obviously, we know that you're always very pessimistic. You know, I don't understand why. Like, you've got two teams that could probably beat all of our teams in here. I mean, we've beaten you a few times this season, but it's much better than a lot of the teams in the Premier League. You've never seen confident with Man City play. I don't know where it comes from. Like, since 2012, since you won the league title, you've always had the squad to do it. And, your domestic cup record speaks for itself. You know what happened last year in terms of the domestic trophies. Are you confident? I know your form's been a bit up and down since lockdown, but based on the last couple games and the people that's getting on the score sheet, your favourite, Gabby, as you call him, Jesus, whatever you want to call him. Are you confident of beating Arsenal like you usually do? Of course, Neville said that you lost last time in the FA Cup to them. Are you confident of going to the final?
I'd like to think that we will. My pessimism comes from typical City, because even though we're good now, we still have them sort of typical City games where you watch it and you think, bloody hell, we look shit. And then, the next game, we're battering teams 5-0 or whatever. So we still have that in us. The last time we lost to Arsenal was a semi-final, so same situation. But at that time, we'd only won the FA Cup once. And we've still only won the FA Cup twice recently. So it's not something that we go, like the League Cup, I'm always quite confident because we tend to turn up and win it. But with the FA Cup, it can change from season to season. But I'd like to think, because the season's over, we're not in a title race like we normally are. So we should be able to go, all for this, because Champions League's not for a little bit, like you say. So there's no reason really why we shouldn't be losing. And obviously he's benched De Bruyne, and De Bruyne's got a record to beat, and he still benched him. So it just shows that he is putting a lot into the FA Cup, and also Edison's going to start as well. So it looks like he's going to play his strongest squad.
Bravo picked up an injury. Bravo didn't pick up no injury. Anything to start that game.
Yeah, but you know what? You need your strongest squad, The focus is not the Premier League, and it hasn't been for a while. So, we need to try and obviously I'm not saying Arsenal can't beat us, they can, but I think recently we tend to come out on top. So we'd have to be on a bit of an off day, I think, or they'd have to perform brilliantly, like against Liverpool, because they were clinical against Liverpool. Obviously, there was a few mistakes, but they were clinical. If they're clinical against City, and we're just, like the game against Southampton, we had something like 40 shots and none of them went in. So if we have a game like that, Arsenal can beat us. But I'd like to think that we will go out to win.
Basically, Devo, she said that you're Southampton, and if you don't, that's the Southampton.
We're gonna need some sort of saint to bless us. It ain't gonna be no straightforward game. I'm telling you that. I know we're gonna be in for a battering, but as I said, we got battered against Liverpool. We managed to come through in that, and there's just something about the FA Cup which seems to we play better in that situation, and that's the only thing that's giving me confidence. If this was Man City versus Arsenal in the Premier League, I'm thinking we're gonna hold 3-4, easy. But the FA Cup is different for some reason. There's no logic behind it.
It's a weird one with us though, because we both got quite a good record at Wembley, and we both got quite a good record in cups. So it'll be interesting because it's similar in both sides. You know what I mean? They've won the FA Cup more than us, but then our record in cups overall is quite good, and our record at Wembley is quite good. So I don't know. It's not. I couldn't tell you now. City are definitely going to go and win tomorrow, but I'd like to think that we will.
Yeah, it's football, innit? Anything can happen, and the magic of the FA Cup. I love the FA Cup. I really do. When we won it for the final time, it's funny because this semi-final lineup is the last 4 winners of the FA Cup. Man Utd 2016, Arsenal 2017, Chelsea 2018, and Man City last season. And when we won it in 2016, I was so happy. Like, we finished outside the top 4 that year, but we hadn't won the FA Cup for 12 years. And even though in between all that we had won Premier Leagues and Champions League, I'm like, the FA Cup means something. Like, being in England, supporting the English team, the FA Cup growing up always meant something. So to go to Wembley in 2016, and I don't care if it was Crystal Palace, I don't care if it went extra time, I don't care if it was Jesse Lingard who got the goal to win it. I don't care. Like, we won the game, and I think the FA Cup usually brings another element when it comes to the fans. But as you mentioned, we're not going to have the fans there. So I do wonder if the players are going to still perform to the level, out of their skin on another level as they do usually for a day out at Wembley. Is it the same day out without 90,000 fans, 100,000 fans there in the ground? I'm going to come to Carl as a bit of a neutral here. Arsenal, Man City. Can you see this going any other way other than for Man City?
Short answer, no. I mean, I'm looking at it, and like Devil said, even though they beat Liverpool, they still conceded a hell of a lot of chances, and Martinez had to make a hell of a lot of saves. And for me personally, Man City's attack is more potent, is more deadly than Liverpool's. So if you're going to concede that many chances, and you're going to concede them to Man City, you're going to concede a hell of a lot of goals. I mean, the league table speaks volumes. Even though Liverpool's first, about 20 points ahead of Man City, Man City still have a +10 better goal difference than them. Man City have +58. Liverpool got +48, and you're 20 points ahead of them. They're trailing Liverpool by about 20 points, yet they still got a better goal difference. It speaks volumes. And not only that, Liverpool have conceded less goals.
Yeah, Man City,
exactly.
93 goals.
Exactly, Man City are on 93 goals, so they score way more than Liverpool. So for me, they have a more potent attack than Liverpool, meaning that if Arsenal don't somehow on the day sort out their defensive issues in the sense that the number of chances they concede, Man City will convert them. And as we've seen in the last couple of games, they've got a couple of 5-0s. Yes, it may be to teams that have given up and have got nothing to play for and bottom half of the table, but it's still it's all about them chances that they're creating. And if it happens against Arsenal, I mean, I honestly can't see a way out for Arsenal in this game, man. Honestly, I'm looking at like literally 3-0, 4-1.
I can't see them things their way. I can't see no 5-0, man. I can't see that. I can't see that. It can't happen. It can't happen.
It shouldn't.
It can't happen.
Even if it gets say it gets to 3-0 or something like that, you'd think that Arteta would do something to try and at least not get embarrassed.
It's Arsenal. how many times have we held 5 or 6? It gets to 3, and we still collapse. It ain't even like, you know what? Let's just hold down this embarrassment and just shut up shop. Well, like, we just allow it to go to 6. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, if it was a boxer, you'd be like, defend yourself. Defend yourself. What are you doing? You might just taking licks. But hopefully we don't see it this week. Hopefully, because I couldn't take that embarrassment.
No, it's funny you say, Carl, because obviously, yeah, you said Man City scored 93 goals this season. And yeah, as you said, the 5-0, they're getting it against what? Right, and I can't remember who they played recently.
Was it Newcastle?
Newcastle. But everyone in the league also plays these teams. And we're not pumping them 5-0 either. Like, we beat Brighton 3-0, fair enough. But it's not 5. We should have got 5. But again, if we had a more potent attack, then maybe we would have scored 4 or 5 minutes. So yeah, Man City have got that clinical edge, and you don't really want to get them on their good day. I guess you want to be a level below. Anita, Arsenal, Man City. I know do you want Arsenal to win? As a Chelsea fan, on the other side of the draw, do you want Arsenal to win?
Do you know, as a Chelsea fan, I don't care. Like, if Arsenal, as a Chelsea, I genuinely do not care. But are they going to win? No, they're not. I'm so sorry. Like, they're not. Manchester City have nothing else to play for, apart from Champions League. Champions League starts at the end of the month, I think, going into August. Like, what do they have to lose? I promise you, Arsenal is not going to get a sniff in. And they're going to have come out with a lot of confidence. And that confidence is going to let them concede at least 3. At least. That's just how it is.
Everyone's predicting
you know what? Everyone, I feel attacked. Do you know what I mean?
But it's just facts. Like, you guys get a little bit of confidence and you go out and embarrass yourselves, you know?
No, that's true.
It's just... it's repeating in history. Like, it's just what happens. Like, no matter how lucky you are at Wembley, like, you saw Man City at Wembley a couple of years ago, got slapped 3-0, went to Man City again 3 days later, still got slapped 3-0. Like, I just can't see you guys putting a W past Man City. I can't. Sorry, I apologize. No hard feelings.
That's fair. I'm holding on to magic of the cup.
Would you want, like, obviously, we're on the other side of the draw. We'll get on to Chelsea and Man United in a second. But would you want to say, you know, Arsenal go through so we can get easier play in the final? Or are you like, no, I want Man City?
Easier play? I don't think you watched the Chelsea-Man City match, baby, but it's not really that much of a difference whether we play Man City or Arsenal. Like, unfortunately, I'm not sure if you watched that match, but there's no such thing as an easier tie. Besides, I genuinely do think that Arsenal would be the harder tie for us than Man City, personally, because I don't know what it is when Arsenal play Chelsea. They just step it up a little bit more for some reason. But yeah, sorry.
No, I had that. I mean, me looking at the other side, I was like, if Arsenal get through against Man City, they're winning the whole thing. They're winning it. Because, like, it doesn't make sense that they beat Man City. Therefore, it doesn't make sense. So they're gonna go and win it. So I'm kind of sitting on the other side, like, you know what? I don't mind if Man City go through, and especially as a Man United fan, I want to deal with Pep in that final. Like we dealt with them. We done 3 times this season. We're beating them. I know one of them didn't really matter. It was the second leg, and we didn't go through in the end. But we've beaten them 3 times this season, and I'll be because when we play Arsenal, it's really 50-50. If you look at the results of the last few years, usually like we will beat them or get a good result at home. They would usually beat us at the Emirates. But then at Wembley, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We haven't played you at Wembley since 2005.
Was that even at Wembley? Was that Cardiff?
That might be Millennium Stadium, actually.
Was that the Vieira
Stadium?
Cardiff, yeah.
Yes, I don't know when the last time we played you at Wembley. I really
a long time.
But in the FA Cup, yeah, you beat us in that final in 2005. And as you said, the FA Cup is Arsenal's trophy. That is
because we shouldn't have won that game.
No, you shouldn't.
We got battered in that game.
You definitely shouldn't have. So I'm kind of looking at Man City like, yeah, Man City, you go through. Pogba got something for you. If we can make it.
Like, relax.
If we can make it, we'll get there. We will get to Chelsea. Relax. Yeah, we'll get there. So Devo, what are you looking for from Arteta in terms of players, formation? What is it you want to see? Obviously, we know that he rested a couple against Liverpool in midweek?
I think Saka has to play. I know Lacazette's on form. You know, he scored 3 and 3, and he's got a couple of assists or whatever. And Lacazette generally does play better in the big games. The problem that we have is that I don't want to see Aubameyang on the left. I want to see Aubameyang through the middle, because I want to see Aubameyang going up against Otamendi and things like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to see. That's if Otamendi's playing, or Stones, whoever it is. I think the problem that we have is we have a lot of players who could play in the same position, and not so many who play in the positions that we need. So where Saka's just been moved around, he's played midfield, he's played left wing, he's played left back. You know what I mean? He needs to be on the pitch because he's one of the most creative players we've got. Pepe, he's a bit on and off, but on his day, he's a handful. He gives us something different. So I would like to see him play, which means Aubameyang playing through the centre.
But that's not going to happen.
He's not going to do that.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to do that.
He's going to play Lacazette and he's going to play Aubameyang wide, and then he'll probably play Pepe and then try and play Saka in midfield. But I don't want to see Saka in midfield when you got man like De Bruyne and Fernandinho and Silva. Them man in there, they get, like, Saka's a young player. He's very good. Is he going to be clever enough to deal with that midfield? I don't know if he's got the maturity yet. In terms of defense, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who we put in there; they're all trash. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's Mustafi, Luiz, and Holding. One of them's going to make a mistake.
Well, let me tell you, because against in the Liverpool game, I know prior to that, I had a lot of Arsenal fans, and they've spoken about in the past. Holding.
Like him.
How did he play? How do you think he did against Liverpool?
He did well against Liverpool, and I like Holding. I do, but he's not the finished article, and you don't want a player who's learning the trade. I know he's not exactly young. He's not like 20 or 21. He's a little bit older than that, but he's had bad injuries, so he's still learning the trade. And you don't want him next to someone like a Mustafi, next to someone like a Luiz, because when they're making all these mistakes and you're supposed to be looking up to them, what are you supposed to do? Do you know what I mean? You're like, I'm learning from you people, and this is what you're showing me. So I think it doesn't matter who we play in the back three; they're going to make a mistake, and this is why it's vital that Martinez is on form, and when we get our chances, we take them. Because a lot of people say our defense is bad, but we've had a lot of problems at the other end of the pitch, not putting away chances as well. We cannot waste chances against Man City. If we get it, it's got to go in. And then we got to defend at the other end like our lives depend on it. So a lot of things have to fall in place for us to get a result. And, it's the hope that kills you, innit?
Sounded like you need a miracle there.
But Man City have also got problems at fullback. So if we could get in behind a Mendy or Zinchenko, there's chances there. Otamendi is just like Mustafi at the other end. There's goals in the game for us. We just need to go out and get them.
Yannicka, what lineup are you looking to see from Pep? Obviously, you've had a lot of games recently. Everyone has. Did you rest up? Yeah, you did. He rested up a big time. Messed up football, actually.
Yeah, mashed me up as well.
De Bruyne was on the bench. Sterling was out. Mahrez, the bench, the whole team.
Yeah, he rested a lot of players. I think City fans are not bothered as long as it's not John Stones and Otamendi together, because them two, Arsenal really will win. I think our best back four is actually Mendy, Garcia, Laporte, and Kyle Walker at the moment. They're our best four. Or it don't even have to be Kyle Walker. It could be Cancelo or whatever. But yeah, it can't be. I can't imagine that he's going to go to Wembley and put Otamendi and Stones there. I just can't imagine that he's going to do that. But if he does, well done, Arsenal. Look in the final. Because I can't see that. In terms of, I think you've got to play David Silva with the form that he's in at the moment. Anyway, so yeah, definitely him. De Bruyne, obviously, he's the first man on the team sheet. Edison, he's playing Edison apparently. But then Pep says that, and you never know. But I think he's playing Edison.
Well, to be honest, Pep also said Edison's going to be on penalties soon, and I haven't seen him take a penalty yet. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, tomorrow might be the day.
He's kind of like Devo was saying before, like, because he's so confident, even if he makes a mistake, like, you still feel quite secure with Otamendi, I know said. Edison in net. Do you know what I mean? Even, you know, he'll have one mistake in the game, maybe. Sometimes it results in a goal. But a lot of the time it's not his fault. So like say it's Otamendi or Stones make a stupid mistake. He's come out because obviously he plays out of his box. Do you know what I mean? And then they just kind of go around him, and if he can't get there, you know, it makes him look like he's failing as a goalkeeper, but actually it's the people around him that are failing him because they know he plays a certain way, and they still will give the ball away in stupid places and know that, you know, he's not on his line. So they can just chip him and it goes in, you know. So, yeah, I think definitely play Laporte and Garcia. De Bruyne, Silva. Probably play Sterling. You know, he does like Wembley in recent
Jesus,
games.
you must be happy that Jesus is on foot because
yeah, well, you know what? He's always been like that. He always gets goals. Even if he's not playing well, he still gets goals or assists. It's crazy. So, Aguero is still injured, I think.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
I think there's talk that he might make the Champions League. Some of your games there, but yeah, I think this FA Cup is definitely going to come too soon for him.
Yeah, but you never know with Pep. Pep might not even play a striker. You know what he's like. So I couldn't honestly tell you the lineup.
You know what? That's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout because I was surprised to see him start in the last game. I thought he would have rested like everyone. I thought maybe playing him just to give him the confidence, get him to make sure he's still scoring goals and get the full. Or as you said, maybe he's not going to start it. He might do a little Bernardo Silva as a false nine. He's done that. He did that to us in the first leg of the Carabao Cup, I think it was.
Yeah.
And Sterling and Mahrez on the wing. So I guess we have to see.
Also, can I just say as well, Man City are 1-0 up already because Kevin De Bruyne scores every single time he plays against Kevin De Bruyne bags.
He loves Arsenal.
Where 1-0 deficit from the get-go.
We got to talk about Sunday, innit? We got to talk about Sunday. Chelsea versus Manchester United. Manchester United versus Chelsea. I mean, there was a time when I was growing up as a young lad in East London. Now, and Chelsea were just there's bogey teams and there's bogey teams, and I'm not going to say Chelsea's a bogey team because they're a quality team. Usually, bogey teams are the easy, so-called easy teams you just can't beat. But Chelsea had us like for about, I don't know, it seemed like ages, probably about 5-6 years where we just could not beat them. And it used to piss me off. It used to piss me off a lot. Until recently, we actually started beating Chelsea. And it's like, as good as Ferguson was, and I love Ferguson, it's after Fergie left, we were able to beat Chelsea. We just couldn't beat anyone else. And that's why we finished so low in the table. And our recent record against Chelsea is pretty good. This season, we've beat them three times. Yeah, 3 times.
3 times.
Once in the league and once in the League Cup. I'm sure Anita remembers them sweetly. And last season as well, we knocked them out of the FA Cup, I believe. Sure, it was last season. Yeah, it was. It was. I think Pogba scored there at Stamford Bridge. And normally, because of that record, I'll be confident. I will be confident about going to this game against a manager in Lampard who I feel can be naive in terms of this is the way we're going to play. And he doesn't, even though he changes the personnel, he doesn't usually change the tactics. We're going to control possession and we're going to attack in a certain way. And I think in all the games that we played Chelsea this year, on the counter-attack, we were devastating. They couldn't deal with us. Because of the context of all the games that's happening recently, the Premier League, the top 4 race, which I think for both sides is the most important thing right now. I actually don't know what 2 teams are going to go out there. I actually don't know what team Solskjaer's going to pick. And I also don't know what team Lampard's going to pick. If we go with a weaker team and Chelsea goes with their full-strength side, being that they had a game 2 days earlier than us, I think they could beat us. I think they could. If it's the same level, so we both pick our first side or we both pick our second side, I would be confident. But I actually don't know what team we're going to pick. So it's very, very hard for me to say. But obviously, I have to trust the boys. I mean, you're making a lot of faces there.
Yeah, because how can you not know the team he's going to pick? He's been choosing the same damn team for like how many weeks now? Like, we all know the team he's going to pick.
That's in the league.
Midfield 3, Fernandes, Pogba, Matic, your boy Greenwood, Martial, and your other boy Rashford. We all know who he's
I'm
gonna.
not so confident.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, there's two reasons.
Come on.
We played
to a final.
We played Norwich in there. Yeah, but the top four is a priority. Is top four not priority?
Europa League as well.
No. Forget that. You can't rely on that. Is top four not priority?
Top four is a priority. Who are you playing after?
West Ham on Wednesday.
Okay. So what? That's 3 extra days. I'm so sorry.
We played 2 days ago.
If you don't
There
get
will be
top
changes.
4, but think about it this way: if you don't get top 4, but you get the FA Cup, Ole's still in the job.
Ole's in the job anyway.
Because if he's not winning nothing and he doesn't get top 4 as well,
no, he'll still be in the job. Fans, there may be fans. There are going to be a lot of fans out there saying maybe Ole out, but he was 100% still. Whatever happens this season, from here on in, Solskjaer's going to start the season as Man United manager. I'm 100% sure of that. A trophy is important, but if you say to me now, you play your first team against Chelsea, you win just to go to a final. It doesn't mean you actually win the FA Cup. They go to a final, and then you end up having to rest players or they're tired against West Ham, and you drop points there. No, I would take a loss against Chelsea in that semi-final all day long. Give me 3 points.
But at the end of the day, you lose to West Ham. Like, you just got to weigh it up here, yeah? You lose to West Ham, you're in an FA Cup final, and you can play your strongest team against Leicester, beat Leicester, and still be top 4. No?
Well, it depends. It depends what Leicester's results against Spurs and your result against Wolves and Liverpool. I don't know. I really don't know. So you expect us to go full strength?
I expect you guys to go full strength. Like, if Solskjaer was smart, he wouldn't have been going full strength this whole time. Like, I expect you guys to go full strength.
It's hard though because they're chasing, innit?
Exactly.
If they were in Chelsea's position, where they're in the top 4 already, then I imagine he would have changed the team around a bit. But because they're chasing, it's harder to rotate. But it's interesting, isn't it? How now top 4 is top 4 is a priority and top 4. But when Wenger was talking about top 4, it was like, but where's the trophies?
You know,
it's funny, isn't it? Wenger is ahead of his time, and people need to respect his name.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about the same. I was like, you know what? A few years ago, Arsenal used to celebrate top 4, and here we are all fighting for it. However,
celebrating it.
No, the only difference is when you were celebrating top 4, because they're taking pictures in the changing room, we were challenging for titles. The difference is now we might be going for top 4, but it's not like this role reverse. It's not like you are going for titles. You're still below us. So I'm just like, I hear you.
But then
but you're also in a new lower position, so it is what it is.
But when we were celebrating top 4, we had man like Senderos in the changing room. I'd be celebrating if I had them man in the changing room. The Nilsson and Bentner and them. I'd be like, bro, we did it. You know what I mean? I'd be asking for gold stars and everything.
So, Ania, you confident?
No.
Why not?
He's beaten us 3 times.
Third best team in the land. Lampard at the wheel. I might sing it.
There isn't a will. Like, you've beaten us 3 times this season. What grounds do I have to be confident? Like, what grounds? Like, you tell me, because maybe you're confident for me.
Pulisic. He's balling since lockdown.
Okay. Okay.
Loftus-Cheek's back. You lot told me that when he's back, you're going to win the Champions League.
Don't include me with the you lot.
You're all one. You're all one.
No. I don't represent everybody in Chelsea Football Club. I don't. I really do not. Please do not include me. I think we're probably going to lose this one, unfortunately. I don't know. It depends on the team that we choose, how badly we will lose, in my opinion. But I don't see us winning this match. And I'm saying it now so I can prepare myself for the worst. Because come Sunday, and I'm here sitting saying, yeah, we're going to beat Manchester United, blah, 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 and we lose, I can't take it. Do you know what happened last time I was this confident that we're going to beat Manchester United? I went to the match. I took my boyfriend at the time, who is a Man United who's a Man United fan. I took him to the match. I sat there and I watched Rashford score a beautiful free kick right in front of me. I am not confident, and I will not be for another couple of seasons. Thank you.
Fair enough. I mean, I wish I was as confident as you are pessimistic or about Chelsea's chances. I think Bruno will start. I'm sure of it because Bruno's Solskjaer's guy, and it's like I think he's just going to play him till the wheels come off Bruno. That is, there is no will. Ollie's not at any will. We don't sing that. We actually win something. We don't think that. There is no will. Rashford, I think he'll start because Rashford's coming into form. He started after lockdown. Obviously, he hadn't played since January. After lockdown, it was a bit shaky. He was really just finding his feet back. He's missing some good chances. In the last 2 games against Southampton and against Crystal Palace, he has been, for me, our best player. Definitely was our best player yesterday, and he had a good contribution and assist for Martial's second goal. So I think Rashford and Bruno will start. Greenwood won't start. I don't think Greenwood's going to start. I actually think he's going to go with either Lingard or Daniel James. Now, for me, this game is determined by how Chelsea play. If Chelsea go, which I think they will, the same way that they have in the last 3 games, we're going to control possession and we're going to, try and break down Man United. We're going to hit you on the counter attack like we did for 3 games. And that's why the likes of Daniel James on the right ahead of Greenwood can prove very, very potent. And I think with young players, as good as Greenwood is and the talent, you can't just keep them in there. And especially that in the last couple of games, he ain't always been in the game as much. You have to know when to take them out, when to bring them back in, and that kind of thing. So I don't think Greenwood's going to start. Martial probably will start. He doesn't look too tired, to be fair, so he probably will start. Pogba and Matic, both of them ain't going to start. I'll be very surprised if both of them start. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think either of them are going to start. I think he's going to go with McTominay and Fred in that midfield too. And I'm not even saying it can't work because most of the games we beat you was with McTominay and Fred. Pogba hasn't been there for most of the season. I know he was there for the first game. And Bruno only came in January. So it was McTominay and Fred in that midfield, cleaning up and then basically giving it to the better players to actually do something. So I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them start. Defensively, go on.
I genuinely think if he does that again, that Chelsea will win.
You think so?
I think so. And I'm only saying that because they've been looking a bit rusty since the restart and they haven't had a lot of game time since the restart. All of our midfielders have had adequate game time compared to McTominay and Fred. So I don't know. I think especially if we, God please, if we do 3 at the back, I think like your midfield with McTominay and Fred, it won't be as great as it was in the past times, personally.
Possibly. Kante, I think he's not playing. He's injured.
Yeah, I think
could be a big miss. But yeah, and then defensively, I think we'll probably go with the same defense. I don't know who's going to go left back because obviously Shaw and Williams, they've both been injured. So it'd be interesting to see who goes there. But I do see a Daniel James or Lingard starting on that right hand side, especially when you've got Pulisic who's on the left, and he's gonna wanna isolate and run at Wan-Bissaka. He's gonna wanna run at Lindelof in that left side channel. I think someone tracking back with like a Daniel James or a Lingard can help. Greenwood ain't gonna do that. Greenwood is a striker playing on the right. Actually yesterday when he tracked back, he gave away a foul to Milivojevic and he nearly scored a free kick. Like that's not his bag. That's not what he's there for. So I could see definitely one of them starting. But it'd be interesting. I'm gonna back the boys and I'm gonna say yeah, we're gonna win. But I'm not going there like confident. The last game we played, I was confident. I was like, we're gonna beat you again. We're gonna beat you again. Now I'm just not sure. But you saying you want to see a 3 at the back? Does he play 3 at the back often?
Not often, but against some teams he plays 3 at the back, and then it often works because Alonso sucks as a fullback, and playing him as a wing back. I love how you both nodded your heads simultaneously. But yeah, playing him as a wing back, it's his bag. Like he plays so well as a wing back, and if we have Alonso on the left and Reece on the right, I won't be too mad at that. I'll see that Lampard's actually coming here to try and win. I won't be too mad, but again, that's probably not what's going to happen. And we're probably going to have Aspilicueta playing left and we're gonna have Reece James playing right, and yeah, you guys are just gonna come at us. But who else would I like to see play? I'd love to see a three at the back with Aspie, Rudiger. People kill me, Rudiger and Zuma at the moment. I don't think not Tomori, because Tomori probably wouldn't play anyway, but I don't think Christensen has the balls for this match. As I've often said, he is a bit, weak. I'll say it in a nice way. He's weak. So I don't think he has the balls for this match. Who else? I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I want to see Ziyech. I want to see Werner. I want to see Deadman. I really, really don't. Like, we're probably gonna start Willian. Like, I'm tired. I'm really tired of it. I am. And we're obviously gonna start Pulisic. Fair enough. Like, he's been doing well, but he's not Hazard. One man cannot carry that team like Hazard carried us.
He's doing his best impression of Hazard.
Neeks. He's not Hazard. Like, he can't carry this Chelsea, and he's still young. So he's still 22 or 21. He's still young. I'll put that into effect as well. So he can't carry this team on his own. I think our best chances are with Giroud up front. If Tammy's on the sheet, the easy W for Manchester United.
Oh, how the turntables! This time last year,
I've held my hands up.
Tammy down.
My hands up.
Listen, that's fine. Keep them up. I'm shooting. I don't care. This is LAPD out here. Hands up, shoot first, ask questions later. Listen, this time last year, maybe a month down, it was Tammy this, Tammy that. Rashford who? Rashford what? Now we're calling him Dr. Marcus Rashford.
No one's calling him Doctor.
You are.
No, I'm not.
No, you have to. He's got.
No, I don't have to.
You got honorary doctorate. Respect the man.
Yeah. That's his business. But yeah, like I was saying, no, on the actual serious note, though, I do see it going to extra time probably, because I just don't think Chelsea's conversion, like the front three, their conversion is absolutely whack altogether. So I do see it going to extra time, maybe like a 1-1 towards extra time. And I see Manchester United probably edging it, but I don't think it's going to be easy for United. But I just don't think Chelsea have the balls to go out there and actually win it, especially because Giroud has been playing a couple of games back to back, and he's just not that guy anymore to be playing games back to back. He's a guy that comes off the bench, and the fact that we're relying on a man that comes off the bench to be our main goal scorer, I don't see happening unless we have Mbappe on our team. There's no point of Giroud even playing on Sunday, but then again, there's no point of Tammy even playing on Sunday. Wow.
Go over false nine.
Who?
Me.
Who?
I'll be agent false nine. Couple of girls. Kyle. Man United, Chelsea. I mean, I'm not overconfident at all. Anita's not confident in the slightest. How do you see this one going?
Honestly, I think it's going to be a very close game. A very close game. I agree with what you said. I think Green was not going to play, and Matic and Pogba's not going to play. I'm almost 100% certain that Pogba's not going to play, because I was reading that Solskjaer was saying that he's been talking to Pogba every day about his fitness and his injury level. He was skeptical if he was going to play him your last game against Crystal Palace, because he said he's been out for a long time, been injured for a very long time, and he's only recently just started playing football again, and they're monitoring him every day. So he said he talks and has conversation with Pogba every day. So from what he was saying and the way he was saying it, I can almost guarantee that Pogba's not going to play not play, but not going to start in this FA Cup. He'll be on the bench, and I don't think Green was going to play. I think, like you said, Dan James or Jesse Lingard, and we know Jesse Lingard loves the FA Cup goal.
He does actually.
He does. But that leaves Chelsea, and I think Chelsea will field their strongest team. And the reason why I think Chelsea will field their strongest team is because realistically, out of their last 2 games in the Premier League, they only need 1 win. They only need 1 win, and they'll get top 4. Because Leicester are playing Spurs and Man United. But if you think about it, even if they win,
guaranteed. It's because if Spurs win, if Leicester beat Spurs and Man United beat West Ham, we will go 2 points to Chelsea. If Chelsea lose, is that 2 points? Is that correct?
2 points.
And then if we were to draw our last game of the season, Man United Leicester, then Chelsea would lose out on goal difference, even if they beat Wolves. So it all depends on the Leicester Spurs game, I guess, in that regard.
Yeah, finish.
We all know Leicester's not going to beat Spurs.
Are you sure about that? I don't think they will. But can you be sure about what Spurs are going to turn up? Because Mourinho, he's not. I don't know. I don't know what Spurs are going to turn up.
Mourinho's beating them. He's beating them. And if he's not beating them, he's not losing to them. I promise you that from now.
Yeah,
and
that's what I think. 100%. So Chelsea realistically only won 1 win. They lost 2 games. I think Lampard will go for it. And more so, it's the only trophy that they have a chance to win in this season. Whereas Man United still got Europa League. So in the back of their heads, they're like, okay, we don't have to go all out for this FA Cup. Top 4 is more important, and Europa League is more important because both are direct routes into Champions League football next season. Whereas winning the FA Cup isn't, and Champions League football is more important than winning the FA Cup, in my personal opinion. Whereas Chelsea,
4th place is a trophy. Wenger told us 4th place is a trophy.
In my opinion, FA Cup is the only thing that Chelsea got to win this season. So why not go for it? So I think Man United will rest 3-4 players where Chelsea's would go all out for it. And I just want to say, when you said at the end before about Tammy, it's funny you said that because I was talking to Javerne, he's also a Chelsea fan, 2 days ago. And I remember when the season started, this guy was raving reviews about Tammy.
They all were.
And
everybody was.
Raving reviews about Tammy.
Bring your
telling me
one of them to the screen.
He was telling me, oh, did you see how much goals he scored in the championship? I said, that's a championship player. It's championship, scoring championship goals against championship teams. You're in the Premier League now and you're playing for a top side. It's totally different football. He goes, no, Tammy's amazing. And I spoke to him 2 days ago, and the guy was cussing Tammy. Oh, he's not that guy. Get him out now. We need to. We ain't got no quality strikers. I said, but what happened to your boy Tammy? What happened?
You know,
and it's funny.
All this slander. If this guy scores the winner, oh my
God, hide.
They're coming for you, Neeks. They're coming for your neck.
And I'm sure it was me and you, Neeks, that said to him, because remember at one point we had the argument with him, and he was talking about Chelsea winning the title, and we was like, you're not going to win the title with Tammy. He's not a Premier League striker that's going to win your title. And he was like, no, it can work. Give him some time to, grow and develop into the striker, and he could lead us to I said, you're not going to win the title with Tammy when you've got the likes of Salah, Aguero, and them men that are scoring 20, 25 Premier League goals each season. Like, Tammy's not that guy. And he was so dead certain that Tammy was that guy. And now look at him.
Well, the reality is Lampard's gone out and strengthened Timo Werner, so he obviously doesn't even believe that Tammy is enough right now, anyway, if ever, to get close with him.
Because he can clearly do 2 at the front. Werner can play 10.
But that's the thing. Do you think? Can you see Lampard changing to a 2? I haven't seen anything from him to say I've got a variety of different styles and tactics. But
do you know what, right? Because obviously, like, Lampard's only done 1 season at Derby, and you know, his 2nd season in management. But I look at it this way: one of Lampard's best years at Chelsea came with playing in front of 2 strikers, Anelka and Drogba. So you never know. He might get some inspiration. Might, you know.
Maybe.
But then where does that leave Pulisic and Ziyech out the team?
No, at least
Ziyech can play wide.
Yeah,
Ziyech
yeah,
can play wide. Pulisic, yeah.
No, but if you're
either way,
playing
it's
two,
a good problem.
yeah, but if you're playing two up front, not having wide players like that.
Why
Yeah,
not? But then they're not exactly going to be wide as in wingers, but you can play them as wide playmakers. Do you know what I mean? They can interchange. They're going to have a lot of fluidity in their squad with Ziyech there next season. It'll be interesting to see what he does with it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he fits them all in. Like, because obviously the Timo Werner thing, we're coming to the end of the show now. The Timo Werner thing is him playing through the middle, but he doesn't do that as a lone striker for RB Leipzig. So it will be somewhat of a new role for him if you're going to say you are the lone central striker. Of course, left in a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, but then you have to, of course, what happened with Pulisic? Does Pulisic come inside? Does he go on the right, possibly, and Ziyech play through the middle? I don't know. You know, it's better to have those options at least.
Yeah.
Different stuff as opposed to this season where you know what team he's going to put out because that's the only choice. It's William, it's Pulisic, it's Giroud, Tammy, and it's Mason Mount. That's the leader of the front line. You know, he might bring in a little Kovacic or
Ross Barkley.
Ross
Barkley.
He likes Barkley. He does.
He likes
Barkley and Mount are starting on Sunday, 100%. They're starting. Oh my God! Wow.
He likes Barkley a lot. I'm surprised. I'm surprised why.
He loves Mount, and I see why. I really, really do like Mount. But well, you know, when Havertz comes to Chelsea, he can get lost. You know.
Okay. Last thing before that, this Havertz thing. Are you not going to get this defender? What happened to the other end of the pitch? All these forwards, and you're talking about. I think I might go with a Rudiger, but people are going to kill me. We're going to leave out a Christensen, Alonso. You need a defender. You need a defender.
Do you want to know Go on.
No, the problem is Chelsea have two very good centre backs in Rudiger and Zuma. People give Rudiger a hard time, but he's a solid centre back. He's a solid centre back, and I think the problem is that he is. I think the problem is that Chelsea never have a chance of just saying these are my two centre backs and playing them for a run of games.
Because of Lampard.
Either Lampard or injury or whatever.
Why doesn't he trust two centre backs if they're that good? If Rudiger's that good.
Again, Tomori's picked up injuries. Christensen's had injuries when he's played. Rudiger's had injuries. So it's not always Lampard. There are other circumstances. But especially as a centre-back pairing, you have to just say, look, you two are my centre-backs. Play. And they've not had the chance to do that this season for whatever reason.
I said this on our podcast the other day, and I think, was it Javern who was saying? Yeah, it was Javern, wasn't it? He was saying he doesn't... They all got mistakes or something like that. And I was like, well, if they're all bad, if they all got a mistake in it, you just pick two. Because it doesn't matter which two you pick, they're all going to make a mistake. At least the mistake they make is going to be a technical one because of ability rather than a lack of understanding, because at least they get that understanding between them two. And you have to pick a two.
But left back is the problem.
Right. One thing I really don't like about Chelsea fans is we have been spoiled with centre-backs in John Terry, Gary Cahill, Carvalho. Like, we've been spoiled with centre-backs. Cool, whatever. But we need to give our centre-backs time to, adapt to each other, because ever since Sarri, we haven't had a centre-back pairing. Ever since Gary Cahill left, we haven't had a pairing at all. And we need to give them some time to understand each other, get to know each other. Like, Rudiger, he's more of on the tough side, Rudiger and Zuma playing together, even though I wouldn't like it, I think it's probably our best option at the moment because they're both tough guys. However, there is a case of them both getting red cards in a match, so that's a possibility. But however, they're probably our best pairing at the moment because they can probably understand each other more than, let's say, Rudiger and the weak guy. Do you understand? Like, I see Christensen play, and I don't see Christensen understanding anybody. I think it's time to let that man go. Even though Chelsea fans, they love him, I don't see why. But I think it's time to let that man go. Allow Zuma and Christensen Zuma and Rudiger to pick up a partnership and actually let them work together, because partnerships don't form overnight. Like we need to be patient with them. And if our attacking force is that good, and our centre backs are still getting to know each other, look at Liverpool when Van Dijk first came. Like the centre backs, they were still trying to get to know each other and stuff, but their attacking force was so sick that did anyone really care about the back? Even though Van Dijk tightened up the back, did anyone really care? No. Like the attacking was that sick. So let's get the attacking sorted first, because we have 70% possession in matches, but we're not scoring. Look at the Sheffield United match. Don't even get me started on that. We're not scoring. We need someone to score goals in our team more than we need a defender. However, Alonso, get out.
There's different ways to do it, innit? You can start from the front or start from the back. Like I know with Man United, we definitely went from the back first. We got Maguire, we got Wan-Bissaka in, then we moved forward, got Bruno Fernandes, and hopefully we're looking at a Sancho in the summer. So there's different ways that you can build a team. I always feel that when you have a weak defense or a very error-prone defense, it just undoes all the attacking work. Because as good as your attack may be, and not just Chelsea, but any attack, there's no guarantee you're always going to score 2, 3, 4 goals. And if a defense has got error in him, you can get 2 goals, and the defense will just clean that out. And our Devil will be a victim of that, being at Arsenal. To be fair, both of you probably a victim of that, having David Luiz in your team over the last few years.
But you make a good point, because as you said about Klopp and Liverpool, when Klopp had Liverpool firing on all cylinders, scoring goal after goal after goal, they were conceding bare goals at the back, so they didn't get anywhere near winning the title. It went until Van Dijk came in, and they changed to say, defense first, and that's when the success started coming. They're still banging goals at the other end, but they were solid at the back first. And as I said, defenses win trophies, and that's what it comes down to. You have to have a solid foundation.
And that's exactly what we're seeing with Man City.
Yeah, Man City is Castle 100% because the attack is there, but it's their defense is just costing them game after game. For example, you might have a tough game where it's like we're peppering them, and then you get 1 goal, and then your defense just messes up and you end up drawing the game anyway. And it's like flipping now. So as I said, there's different ways. You need both sides of your team to work. You need the defenders to do their job, and you need the attack to do their job. I'm not saying Lampard's doing it the wrong way, but I think once you get Ziyech and Werner, I'm like a defender for me next before Havertz, because he's a quality player, but in the position that he's gonna play, you're gonna have other players like Ziyech, like Mount, who can play in those positions, surely.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, our defense is not that bad. Like I said, you find a partner. No, honestly, like you find a partnership in 2 centre backs. You stop shifting and changing the defense next season. We work on our attack because we're getting like 70 to 80% possession and we're not scoring goals. That is our main issue. If we were a formidable team, and we're scoring goals, bang, 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 even though we probably wouldn't win the league, 100% we probably won't win the league with our defense. Cool. Even though we weren't in the league, we're definitely securing top 4. Definitely. And that's where we're lacking now. If we had put our chances away, we would be clear in top 4 right now, but we didn't put our chances away. And you gotta notice this as well. If your team's formidable at the front, lower teams are sitting back. They're not trying to get out. They're just trying to get on the counter. They're trying to get lucky. They're not trying to get out.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Because even I've seen, once we had our what on the football terrace we're calling the Avengers, Pogba, Bruno, Greenwood, Martial,
that's foolishness,
and Rashford. Listen, when you say there's a thread on it, I'm gonna send it to you. There's a thread that Elite KJ did from the football terrace.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's legit. I like it. But once we had all those on the pitch, you see that defense teams work differently. They're like, "Whoa, we might concede a few goals. Let's sit back." You're right. You're not wrong there. They will sit back, and then you just have to find a way to break them down, as opposed to when you're playing the likes of McTominay, Pereira, Lingard, etc. And it's like, yeah, we can get at these guys. Yeah, because even if we leave space at the back, the likelihood of them punishing us is going to be slimmer than when they got the quality players on the pitch. I'm going to go around two names. Who do you think is going to be in the FA Cup final? Devo.
Arsenal. And, I'm hopefully, for Arsenal's sake, Chelsea. Because I think if we get Man United in the final and they play all their players, Martial, them, I don't think we'll win that game. I think we have more chance of beating the Chelsea side.
Kyle?
So hard, man. Man City, Chelsea.
Nia?
Man City, Chelsea.
Change the tune.
After all of that, I'm going to go Man City, Man United, Manchester Derby final. Solskjaer does Pep once more, and this time pats his head like he did Jose at Old Trafford. Send them old managers to the grave. They're done. The new age is around now. Even if that's the case, there might be Arteta Solskjaer. But anyway, we will see. It's going to be a very, very interesting week of FA Cup games. It's also going to be Premier League games, but we're going to be doing live streaming after both FA Cup semi-finals. So, of course, if you are available, make sure you join us. And guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, comment below, let us know your predictions for both of these FA Cup semi-finals and what teams you think each clubs are going to play. Obviously, there's other games, other priorities for some. This is a last chance to lean on somewhat of a successful season for others. So let us know your thoughts. Hit like, hit share, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.